Yeah.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I've got quite a few bits of tin and that around.
For bugs to live underneath,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's any under it now, but
No, not a lot.
But in the summer, you get
It's
slow
crawling,
worms, grass
yeah.
snakes, mice, ants, all sorts.
Well, we've got lots of pipes, plastic pipes. I expect they like living in those, don't they?
Yeah.
So perhaps we could sort of half bury them in the earth.
Yeah.
And then put things over them. Because we do get slow worms in our garden.
You do, yeah.
We have to be very careful.
That area hasn't been cut for about 12 years.
Really? Yeah.
I just leave it year on year.
Well, when you've got a garden this size, you can do it.
But I mean, you could do it in yours, but even do
one bit,
a 2 foot square.
Yeah.
Get some clumps like that. An awful lot of things will hibernate in there.
In the clumps, yeah. Well, the other thing I'm thinking of doing, which a visitor to the Thailand barn last year suggested, and that was because I've got a bit of really rough old lawn that doesn't work, because it's dry. They had replaced theirs with a sage lawn, a thyme lawn.
Thyme lawn,
because that's far more hardy. So I might have to look for a specialist to get thyme lawn in that spot, which is around the pond area.
Yeah, fine.
Because I thought I'll put the pond in there because it's just bare.
Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Where you've got the pond, try and let a few things grow up round it.
Tall,
Yeah, to give a bit of cover for things to get in when they come out of the pond.
Yeah. Well, I've put in some different sort of grasses and things just for different thing, and then I put loads of geranium, and then in fact the geraniums are still
still flowering.
Well, not quite, but they've not died.
Some of them will go for a long time.
I might dig them out because if I take them out and then take cuttings, I'll have lots of geraniums for next year.
Cool.
And this is nice because that's
I get
moss,
an
isn't
awful
it?
lot of moss. Yeah, moss just.
Yeah. But
mad,
it's nice. I mean, it's quite handy in this, isn't it? Because it creates a moss lawn.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's what I should do. Is just have moss.
When it's dry enough, I can mow all these parts, and just the rest then grows up. That area there will be all that's daffodils. These all daffodils are coming.
Oh, and some snowdrops there.
Plus the snowdrops,
Lovely. It must be nice just walking around and seeing what's, hiding here and there. I'd certainly like to have a bit more ground, but we've seen this house in Westgate-on-Sea that I've fallen in love with because we only discovered Westgate this year, and we've been down there so many times now, and because I've just become a bit obsessed with it, I thought, I'll have a look and see how much it would cost to buy somewhere down there, because we have got enough money that we could buy another property, but not a really expensive one, unfortunately. Anyway, I found the first thing that came up was the old Coast Guard's house.
Oh yeah.
In St Mildred's Bay.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, I went, oh, this is just so lovely. It's got all these. It's still got the bread oven, the original bread oven, and they say it's Georgian, but I don't believe it. I think it's just Victorian.
Yeah.
Because when we've done the history, in fact, about. It wasn't there in Georgian.
No,
it's been built in the Georgian style.
Yeah, but in Victorian times.
In Victorian times. And it's just such a lovely house. Yeah. And I sent a picture to my son and I said, I'm in love with this house. How much do you think it would cost to buy? And then he came back and he went, oh, that looks like £1 million house to me. Because it does. It's detached.
Yes.
It's got lovely lawns all round. It's got a little courtyard garden as well. Oh, it's just lovely. To die for. Yeah. 550,000. And I'm like, well, that's a bargain. Yeah. And so I was going to this is a bargain. Let's see if we can gather enough money together. Yeah. So anyway, I think we might attempt to, because what slowed it all up was because Olive has money, but it's just sitting in premium bonds,
Yeah.
as bigger
Yeah.
savings,
Yeah.
but you don't get much.
You don't get anything at all.
It would
no.
be in her interest to put it into property.
Yeah.
But when we went to the solicitor, he wasn't even a solicitor, he was a conveyancer, and he was just so, I just didn't like him at all, because he was going to do the conveyancing on the old Coast Guards, because we did manage to draw enough money together if Olive put in some money as well, because we've got our pensions and so on, and we were just selling my mum's house, which I own half of, and that's been sold now, so I've got that money. And anyway, but he was just so negative, and we said we wanted to put them, and he went, oh, well, as she's got dementia, you'd have to go to court protection for that, because they have to assess whether it's in her best interest.
Yeah, they do, that's right.
So, for God's sakes, because I don't know how long that'll take, probably quite a while.
Yeah.
But we've got time to do it now, because what happened is that in the end, because we would have to go and get a mortgage, and we've only just paid off our mortgage, I said, I was stressed, and I was having problems with my nephew who I owned my mum's house with, and I think it's just one too many complications. I'm going to ring the estate agent and say it's got too complicated with the finances. Anyway, so I did that, and I said, I'm really, really sorry, because this guy had it fall through before. But it was going through probate, so it wasn't actually his yet. But apparently that's quite common in that people put things on for sale because it takes so long often that by the time someone's at a stage where they might be able to exchange, you might have got the probate through. But anyway, he's only a young guy, and his dad died in a plane crash. It's very tragic. Anyway, it then transpired. I then got a call from the estate agent saying, oh, we're really sorry, but there's problems with the Coast Guards because the solicitors have gone out of
business.
Right? God. Do what? I've never heard of. It must have been malpractice, because you never hear solicitors.
Oh, very rare. No, I guess so.
Must have been up to no good. Well, from what so that was, and I went, oh, well, there might be a chance then, because it came off the market.
Yeah.
Anyway, last week I went down. I had one of these, my daughter bought me a spa day for Christmas, and it had to be used, and I went with my friend, and we were going to Broadstairs, and because that was the only thing we could book at short notice, and I overshot the thing for Broadstairs, and I ended up at Birchington, and I said to my friend Leslie, I went, well, as we're at Birchington, do you want to come and see this house at Westgate? Because she hadn't seen it. And so she went, oh yeah, let's. So anyway, and she went, oh, and she's a historian. She's got a degree in history. Her son teaches history. So they're all like, and she went, oh, that's a house to die for. Oh, that's such a lovely house. And there's nothing not to like, but Ralph didn't really like it, and my stepdaughter didn't really like it, and my granddaughter's only 2. She went no likey when we took her around because she came to look at it, and I'm like, well, what's it? Perhaps she thinks there's ghosts or something. I don't know. But anyway, we went and had a look, and it's literally 2 minutes from the beach. There's a lovely cafe at the end of the road as well. Right by the beach, do you know it along there, called Millie's, and it's been renovated.
I don't know that well. No, I've been down
it's
there,
quite sort of trendy Mediterranean food cafe bar, lovely. And then so it's got that there. Oh, and on the other side of the road, it's got 4 tennis courts, and I love tennis, and the grandchildren love tennis. And they've got a boathouse in the garden, a place to store your boats in. Hasn't got a garage, but Ralph could build one because it's got it's really spacious land. But Ralph doesn't like the size of the rooms because he said they're too small. But they're bigger than our house at the moment, rooms. And I went, anyway, he's come round to the idea that we might get it. We might. So I think what we'll do is we'll approach the Court of Protection and say, look, we think it's in her interest to invest in property. Because we could even rent it out, and then that could pay for anything. If she had to go into care, that would help.
That would, you have an income from it. That used to be pigeons in there.
Ah.
Yeah, my father had
pigeons.
Yeah. Oh. I let the next door neighbour have it now. It's the chickens in there now.
Oh, chickens. Yeah. Well, that's a big chicken coop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
But in here, look. There's a hole here.
Oh, yeah.
there's a wild honeybee's nest.
Oh.
That's double, the wall of this is
Yeah.
double, and there's a wild honeybee's nest
Amazing.
inside there.
Do you watch all the wildlife programmes? Oh, look at these, are beautiful.
Yeah,
The hellebores, aren't they gorgeous? I think I've got one in the garden, although I'll have to have a look, because you sort of, well, you only see them, they suddenly pop out, don't they?
Yeah.
Did you see that programme? Oh, you must see it if you want to see something that's quite extraordinary wildlife programme. It was on the telly the other day, so it's on iPlayer, about Idi, it's in Uganda, Idi Amin's old holiday residence, which was huge, which is just derelict now.
Oh, yeah.
And all these animals, all these different wild animals, are all living cheek by jowl.
Oh, crikey.
So they've got like wild boar, and they've got other things. Oh, the monkeys, macaques, I think they were. I think they were kind of macaques. But the most extraordinary thing, there was this little baby piglet. It was all in the dark.
Yeah.
And it had, for some reason, separated from its family and was in a separate room.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see the leopard coming. I'm like, oh no, this little piglet. Oh, what's going to happen? And the leopard strolls along, and obviously leopards must have really good night sight. Yeah. And it goes up. He noses the little piglet. The piglet wakes up and goes, squeals and runs away.
Yeah.
Just leaves it and wanders off. I mean, must have had a good meal before, perhaps.
Yeah.
But it seems like they all let each other be in this place. It's almost like
they've probably
Jungle
all grown
Book.
up together. Yeah.
And then the hyenas all come round, and it was just.
That's something you could do in yours.
Oh yes.
That's
Yeah.
If you bury the bottom down in the ground, that's good for stag beetles and any other beetles and things.
So these are just
drill
logs.
holes.
Yeah.
On the sunny side
for the bees.
For bees.
Yeah. I don't think we've got any logs that thick. Ralph does keep stuff. I mean,
it doesn't take a lot of room up.
No, that's a really good idea, isn't it? Because he's recycled stumps from conifers that we cut down and put them out there and done that way, and they're on the back in a sunny spot.
Yeah.
Because originally put it in a shady spot and they weren't interested.
No.
You have to have a bit of sunshine.
You need sun for bees. Yeah. The warmer the better the bee.
Yeah, well, we had the bees last year take residence in the blue tits box.
Oh, yeah, they
because they're a bit lazy, aren't they? And if there's nothing not being used, we'll have that.
Tree bumblebees do that.
Well, I suppose, as you say, that's why they see these with all the holes in and think, oh, that's nice. That's just what I want. Nice detached residence.
Yeah.
I love the way you've labelled all your stuff. I must do that.
I haven't got it all labelled. I'm not
Carrier.
very good at remembering the names of things, so I do tend to label where I can.
I lost a load of carrier. I had it all along the fence, and for some reason, well, luckily I'd taken some out because that grows easy. Just take it out, put it down the other side because it got a bit carried away. As you say, keep it in a nice clump like that.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is it sometimes goes floppy as well, doesn't it? Flops over. Yeah. Oh, this is an old bit of vehicle.
That was, I think, an old Austin 7, the back end of.
That's funny. But yeah, makes it very. I mean, it is. It's just woodlands, isn't it?
This later on will be blue. You can see they're just beginning to come up. Look.
Yeah. And these are the bluebells,
The bluebells.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice to have your own wood.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh dear. Well, you'll have to let us know if you're ever going to sell. No, that's it. Never. Why would you want to?
That's a hibernaculum for reptiles and anything that wants to
yeah. Because I'd like some lizards. I love lizards.
Yeah, I've got lizards down there.
Yeah.
That was a tree there that came down and left quite a hole.
Yeah.
So I filled the hole up with stones and rocks and bits of wood and that. covered it up with leaves and grass.
It's ideal, isn't it? And then you've put this there to stop people
Just to stop
trampling
people
over.
walking
Do you
into it.
have a lot of visitors come?
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm quite happy. Anyone that wants to come
Yeah.
and have a look round.
Well, I will probably, what I'll do with this video, if it's all right with you, is my friend with motor neurone, I've sort of started to make videos of everything that that she can't, I mean, she couldn't go in because she's in an electric thing now. But I'm sure she'd love to see all of this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to say, this is the other thing. Unless I'm actually going to use anything that I cut down, leave it all in lumps, the top, log.
Well, it's exactly what they do at Kent Wildlife Trust, isn't it? You know, you have to take, and
let it go.
Let it go and let it rot down, and
it's ideal
the bugs
for hedgehogs or anything that wants to get in them. Wrens and that nest in it.
Yeah, I suppose if you just pile the things up and leave the space, that's ideal.
That's it.
Hedgehog, and it looks natural.
It's surprising. They don't need a big hole to get into. It's amazing.
No. Well, you don't want a big hole because obviously you don't want other creatures getting the hedgehogs, do you? Ralph made. This is lovely because this is a little sedum, isn't it?
Moss.
Is it?
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's a moss, is it?
It's another moss.
Beautiful.
Yeah. That's the other thing.
The ivy.
No.
Oh.
Teapot.
Oh, teapot. Oh, that makes bird.
I've had robin nest in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We've got.
Any old teapot.
Yeah. Oh, what I might do then is.
That's a hedgehog box.
Oh, lovely. I think I'll have to go and have a look and see what things we've got, because all the old saucepans that came from my in-laws that had the what's it called, that material that they say don't use anymore because it's not good for you, that like your teapot there, made of aluminium. Yeah. We've got pots, and we were going to make those into sort of hanging baskets, because I use old garden clogs because we're always up and down our garden with Olive. It's easy to have something and just slip your feet into and keeps your feet dry. But invariably you tread on something and it goes through, and then they're not very good anymore unless you block them up with some. Ralph's tried all different things, blocking up the holes, because he hates to buy a new pair of anything. So.
Loads of daffodils all through here.
Oh dear. I might have to come back another time.
Well,
yeah. Oh, I can see as you say, all coming up here. These are all daffodils, aren't they?
I'm doing a walk when the bluebells are out.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, I'll make sure I put that on my calendar.
This came down in the '87 hurricane.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I just left it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. Have you got grandchildren?
Step-grandchildren.
Step-grandchildren. Yeah. I bet
they love it.
They love it.
They play on there.
Yeah. Because our grandkids, they'd love that. They like anything like that down the woods.
It's still alive.
Oh, is it?
The tree is still alive. Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it?
Half in the ground, it's still alive.
They do. They're very resilient.
Yeah.
I was reading an interesting thing in the in the TV guide about mushrooms.
Yes.
And how they're looking at mushrooms as being the next best thing. Well, we're now eating corn, which is a sort of a fungal thing, but they reckon they're going to make furniture out of mushrooms, which is quite interesting. Yeah, I know.
Another lump of.
Because they're so important. They said that the mushroom and fungus have more in common with our DNA than plant DNA, or with animal DNA than plant DNA. So they're sort of like a halfway house. Yeah, isn't that funny?
Amazing.
But they are very important because they're doing so much work under the surface you don't see to feed the trees, which is amazing.
You don't know what's going on underground.
No. Well, it's a different planet down there, isn't it?
Yeah. But without all those.
Oh. nothing would survive, would it? I love this with all the cracks.
It came down. That was a hurricane, and all the bark came off it, and it stayed.
Have you got chestnut trees here?
Chestnuts, yeah.
Yeah. Did you collect the chestnuts in the?
That's a chestnut that came down.
Right.
And still living.
Yeah.
And I coppiced that tree actually.
Oh yes, and now
post.
it's all coming. Excellent.
Yeah.
What a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we once went and did some coppicing because that's lovely. I love that. And then who owns beyond that? Oh, what is in there?
Just there.
And there's a horse. Oh, it's a railway line, and then the horse there, on the field.
The field over. They're chestnuts.
Oh wow!
Now,
it's handy.
You can see many years ago these used to be coppiced. That's why they're in clumps. And they've been let go. I mean, they're enormous now.
They are. The thing is, you've got the land that can. You've got the land to support it. It's when they're in. Our next door neighbour's got a tree in their garden, and it just is a rather overbearing for a small, a mid-terrace house, and it cuts all the neighbours out on the other side, and they don't have the benefit of the back bit of garden because we've got our next door neighbours and our next door but one neighbours. We've got part of the end of their garden. And then our next door neighbour to us has got part of our garden. They wrap round in L's. People sold off bits because it was obviously a bit unwieldy, and the guy who had lived in our house had it as like an allotment. So when I moved in there, it was like a wilderness. It was all brambles. And then my mum come up with this great plan, which was a great plan actually. My mum did have some good ideas, because my sister had one of those small pools, that are like 12 foot round and 3 foot deep. And we had such fun up there with their kids and my kids in the summer. She said the next year, she went, "Would you like one of those pools? I'll buy you one." They're not that expensive, like £100, but we wouldn't have been able to afford it because we were absolutely skint. And I went, "Well, that's all very well, but it's take up half of our garden." And she went, "Yes, but you've got plenty of space up the back there." I went, "What, in the wilderness?" And so she put it in my head. And so I said to Ralph, "Oh, Mum said she'll buy us a pool. Shall we see if we can sort the garden out?" And it was such a project because we literally moved mountains of earth by hand. We never got a digger. And Ralph dug out, because I said, "Oh, I don't want the pool just sitting on the top," because my sister's they're on a hill overlooking the Medway, so theirs was partially sort of in the hill, which was quite nice. But I said, "Oh, I don't want a hill. I don't want a bit sticking out." So it meant we had to dig. Well, what we did, we levelled off in terraces and basically dug out. The digging out from the thing provided the terrace. Well, you can come and see, and then you'll see what I mean. But
mind the hole.
Oh, don't want to go down there and break me. That's what I did before. I fell down a hole in the woods and broke my ankle and leg. Oh, is that ants?
That's a fox been digging.
Oh, it's
in
a
there.
foxhole.
Yeah. Well, it's not a foxhole.
No.
It's been digging down probably for a mole or mice or something like that.
Do you get any rabbits? No.
There are very few rabbits now. There used to be quite a few, but not now.
Ooh. That is the trouble, isn't it? With all the leaf litter, you have to be very careful you don't fall down holes. As I say, I broke my leg and ended up in hospital for a week because they had to put the titanium. I got titanium plates either side, but I think that leg's stronger than the other one now. I think because I've had a few trips.
They often say this.
Yeah, and my flexibility is almost the same as it was before. I mean, I did have to do a lot of exercise and swimming and that, but it was well worth it. Because I can run if I want to, but I choose not to now. It's too much effort. But lovely. What a lovely garden. I suppose the only thing is you've got the road, isn't it?
Yeah, you get used to that.
Yeah,
though.
and I suppose in the summer you don't hear it so much because of the leaves.
Well, no, there is that.
Because I noticed when I was disposing of the stuff at Thailand Barn, I was really aware of the traffic noise, whereas when I'd been there in the summer with all the leaves on, it wasn't quite as noticeable.
No, that's right.
And the fact you see it,
Yeah.
whereas you won't see most of this, I guess, when...
it disappears.
Yeah. It's lovely. So no one's approached you then, or will probably have, to say, wouldn't you like to sell some of that so as I can put a house on it? Because you could get a blooming estate on this, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful though. And I love Akuba.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely adore that, and that grows really easily.
Daffodils coming out.
Oh, you have got daffodils. Gosh, that's nice.
They're early.
Yeah, because we've got them down the garden. Because I only ever bought one, and then I've propagated and like anywhere there's a space. Oh, let's put an Akuba in there. And when I wheel my mother-in-law down the garden, she has to stroke the Akuba every time.
Yeah.
And she says to me, "What a lovely plant that is." And I said, "It's Akuba," and she never remembers what it is, but it's a lovely plant.
Coming out.
Oh, that's beautiful. I have got a viburnum, but it's sort of caught up in another thing. Yes, because that smells, doesn't it, viburnum?
Yeah, that hasn't got much of it at the moment.
Probably has to wait until the hot air circulates. And then I like the
old teasels.
teasels, And these are your cultivated trees.
Veggie bit.
So are these fruit trees here?
No,
then?
these are not fruit trees.
No.
These are all
Just
flowering.
Lomatia.
Lomatia.
I don't
These
know
three are all Lomatia,
Cheers.
but different varieties.
I don't know what Lomatia is.
I didn't know it at all.
No.
I
Has it got
it's
a blossom?
White flower.
White
apparently.
flower.
But I don't know a lot about it. It's meant
You've
to be
not
good.
had it. You've not had it bloom yet.
No.
It's new.
No.
Ah.
It's meant to be quite good for insects and bees and things. So.
Because the leaves on it reminded me a little bit too long of oh gosh, what's it called? Oleander.
Oh yes.
It's got a similar leaf to oleander.
Yeah.
I did have an oleander, and of course they're a bit tender, so it died. I should have taken it in.
You make compost?
Yeah. In fact, what I really would love Ralph to do, and I might make it myself as my projects, because I've kind of got to the thing like, oh well, if it doesn't get done, I'm going to do it myself now. But there's we've got a compost thing that's just plastic, and I don't like it because you can't get the compost out without taking the whole thing off. It's a bit tedious. So I said, why don't we just build a compost out of wood for the kids?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's big. Beautiful. So you haven't got the male one then?
No, they're too noisy.
Yeah. What was it? The helping bird. Because I go, help. Don't they help? Or
No, they're very noisy.
yeah. Is it friendly?
Yeah, reasonably.
Does it eat from your hand?
No. It won't.
Oh, I love them pheasants. We went to Jamaica for my stepdaughter's wedding.
Yeah.
Because my son-in-law is Jamaican, and his family's got quite a lot of family, and they couldn't afford to come over for a wedding here, so we all went out there, and they chose this place that was an old plantation. Sorry, we've been far too long. You've probably nodded off by now, have you? You thought, where are you gone?
We wondered where you'd gone.
Well, it's a lot warmer in here than out there.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice.